Welcome back to the Long and Thick podcast. This has been a long time coming. Our schedules this year has been straight lunacy, to say the least, but this is a way for Ronnie and I to reconnect at a distance, just because we're still flip-flop schedules, but to kind of reconnect, get all things sorted, catch up on all of our goings on. We've had a busy year, but we haven't had just the time to sit down and talk about where we've been, where we're going with the podcast. So we're here to not necessarily cut through the noise and bullshit of the health and wellness space, but at least cut through the noise and bullshit of our lives. So Ronnie, what the hell is up?
Dude, you nailed it. I mean, the busyness it feels like a snowball. Yeah. That just continually grows, and you try to catch it and your fucking arm gets ripped off, and you're like, never mind. Pardon me for trying to slow the roll. Excuse me. How naive to think that I could do such a thing.
Yeah. You're losing limbs like the cows in Twister. It's like, oh, there's an arm.
Oh, sorry.
There's another
bye.
arm. No, pretty sure that was the same arm.
There's an utter milk splash baptism.
Well,
yeah, man.
So talking about where we've gone with the podcast over the summer, we started including a lot of guests, which has been super cool.
Hell yeah.
But right around that is when you and I both had collective and respective busyness. So talk me through your summer. Where have you been?
Man, I feel like August was such a blur. In particular, I had flown, I think I took like 6 flights. Maybe 8 if you're like counting the little connecting shits in the Colorado Illuminati clubhouse. Visiting gargoyles over there. But man, yeah, summer like historically gets exponentially busier. I think the long days, the people activity level, like everybody's like, oh, fix me. I want to play volleyball. I'm like, well, okay. And the flying was a lot of fun stuff. August had a annual boys trip to New York. Rented an Airbnb, fucked around and found out pretty quick.
The videos and the photos of that looked fucking wild.
Yeah, next time you can rally along. We already got, when we had got there, this was the type of house that had like mad cameras in the yard, and we had too many people show up that were like not on our reservation. And by too many, I mean like 1. And in like fucking 30 seconds, I got a text and was like, "Hi, Ronald, we've noticed like odd activity in the house. Just wanted to make sure, like you said this many guests." And I was like, tell me this is the type of person that's like going to have a fucking SWAT team pull up and execute us in the pool. But it was fine. I was like, oh yeah, sorry. Someone was like sick and then got better, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, can I just pay for whatever? They're like, yes, for this one exception. Like, but
I'm sure.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, okay. But that still gave me like a nice zap in the sack where I was like, fuck, tell me that they're going to be like, get out. Like, and now we have like 8
you violated
people nowhere
TOS,
to go.
You have to go back to Tennessee with you. Start walking.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that was rad. Stayed in New York with Splash longer. Everyone was like blown away at that seemingly drugged video of Juan like at the Mets game. The amount of texts that I got.
If that's him just acting that out, I mean, he might be in the wrong line of work, because he looked like a drunk high person that was going through it, and him keeping that bit up was solid work.
Yep. That was pure fucking cinema bliss. He was, I don't know, a half of a watery beer deep. So there was nothing else with the system. But then got home, worked for like fucking 30 minutes, flew to Nebraska for a PRI certification with some wild things that I will not disclose on here happening in that experience. That was when that happened. Sorry for all of you whose ears perked up, and like the 3 who are like, yeah.
Well, yeah. So here's the thing is, now I know exactly what you're talking about, and obviously we're not going to talk about it, but I thought you meant goings on as like in the actual course. I'm like, whoa, what are you all doing in Nebraska? No, but yes, the bookends.
Yes. And then was back for like another 2 days, and then flew out for a wedding. And then we pretty much, came back, and then what's after August? We're in, the beginning of
September.
falling. Yeah. So, and then you went away. So yeah, get us up to speed on the mishap ships were passing in the night. I was like, all right, I'm here. Your turn.
No, we were like quite literally black and white, like every other weekend. It's like, I'm in, out, you're out, I'm in, out. So, for me, the start of the summer, I took on kind of a trial ambassador role for First Form. And then that did well enough. And fast forward through the summer, I was just pretty much working, killing it at the gym, really put my head down, grinding. First Form stuff started going really well. Eventually that led to getting a sponsored athlete contract with them, which was really cool. It's something that was not on my bingo card earlier in the year, but it was a very cool opportunity. I love them as a company, their culture, everyone who works with them that I've interacted with are just exemplary people. So It's been really cool. And then that made me eligible to go to a fall festival that they hold internally for athletes and employees. So prior to that, I had already set in motion with my roommate, his lady, and I were going to go to Europe for 2 weeks. So then that was like perfectly in between all of your travel. So the second that you're back, I'm leaving. So we did Spain, Madeira, and Portugal for 2 weeks. It was otherworldly. It was beautiful in ways that I could not have imagined until I got there. The culture was great. The food, the drink, the exchange of everything was super cool. Came home, had about a week to reacclimate myself with all my clients, try to get them back on an even keel, just for me to leave again to go to St. Louis for the First Form event, to then come back and still try to salvage that. And then that in the midst from basically right before I left for Europe to all the way through September and October, Adam Wright, the owner of Gym 5, and I kind of landed on an idea of, I originally just came to him. I was like, I want to do a community event. I want to do some outreach to our community, neighbors, our member base, just to kind of bring some coalition there and also just see who we can talk to, because we've talked at length with guests and between ourselves that we want to try to have more community goings on in Nashville because it is quite light. And especially too, because most of the social constructs around air quote fitness aren't around strength training and resistance training and that kind of longevity modality. It's always going to be yoga, run clubs, cycling, interval work, which is, again, we're never going to condemn that, but there is going to be a missing of opportunity if you're not also including a resistance training program to get the most out of your life.
Agreed.
So Adam Wright and I happened upon an idea that we would make it a community event, and it would be one part community outreach, knowledge exchange, having multiple speakers kind of as a panel. And then we would try to invigorate things after talking people's ear off with some physical challenges and like strength games. And then find a way to include live music in the gym itself, and that getting all of that to work and getting all the pieces in motion to eventually do that in November is what kind of monopolized those 2 months pretty aggressively. So it all became a blur.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, fuck. So you head was down. Think the wheels were turning. Cogs were rustily moving at first, and then the momentum picked up, and one thing led to another. And I mean, it ended up happening. We'll talk about it a little bit more later. But how did you like get through that? Because I know that your work did not slow down, like in terms of hours, like what, and then adding on the First Form side of things, like how the fuck did you do it?
It was tough. It was probably the longest feeling stretch of weeks. Some of it was just natural pressure for the pursuit. Some of it was like self-imposed. So, having a really good time starting out and seeing really good feedback with the First Form stuff. And there's it's going to be a content time obligation thing there. It's not a ton, but it's just another tiny little sprinkling amidst losing time elsewhere. So being in the gym 50 plus hours a week, in the agreement that I had with Adam with the show, he's like, you can do whatever you want as long as you play music, because he had seen me play music earlier this year, kind of on a random opportunity. And the outfit that I played with for that show couldn't do it. So he kind of just like, figure it out, man. And he's like, you literally, the world's your oyster as long as you play music in the middle of it. You know? So as long as you're that little pearl is fucking music, you can do whatever you want. So I elected to start a whole new band with friends, write all new music, and enlist a bunch of people that, I mean, we had about 45 days to get it done. So write a record, get everyone hip to it, be able to play it, have one shot at rehearsal. And then the thing that kind of shot me in the foot was I also opted to like write a record to release as well and had to handle all of that. So, you know,
yeah, why not just add a full, you know, mastering process? And
so that was a bit much. That was a bit extreme. And coupled with the pressure that I've never run an event before, I've never done event production, and it was kind of a figured out as you go. And thankfully, you know, something that we talked about off camera is when you're really working hard for something, the people that believe in you will start to believe in it more than even you do. And they don't let you quit. It's, you know, halfway through, you're like, am I even doing the right thing? And then everyone around is like, dude, literally shut the fuck up and just keep doing this is sick. And you're like, oh, okay. All right. My bad. So head back down. So it was a blitz. We got, you know, the event wound up happening November 8th. The record got completed and hosted November 1st. So we got to promote it for a week. And yeah, there was everyone that had to pull significant slack all did it without falter, and it went off kind of without a hitch. So for my first event that I hosted and threw together, it wasn't a complete travesty. So I'm very excited about that.
By no stretch, or there's zero attachment of anything negative with how it went. I mean, it's hard to comprehend the mix of hours in the gym, the time, then instantly like recording, playing, writing stuff. That's, you know, making sure it's all done, making sure that all the other pieces are lining up. Some of it I'm sure felt like, well, I have some time to like make sure that, you know, Evan is going to be ready or like knows the timing. But, you know, there's, like you said, there's plenty of people that did other things, but because you're spearheading it, it's like, oh fuck, like I have to make sure that every aspect of it is like crystal clear to anybody who's involved, that there's no loose ends, that, you know, like all of that stuff. And so it's a lot to juggle. I mean, do you feel like there's any other times in your life that you've like, I don't want to say, I guess, worked as hard, or that there was as many like plates spinning, like as viciously as those were spinning?
I would say that it was akin to sometimes I spent in restaurants.
That's what I was thinking.
Having to manage multiple restaurants and multiple things happening and putting out fires. But the difference though is it's almost like like every day is a shit show, but it's almost like self-contained to like the same 11, 12 hours. And you are there, and sure, you might have to pivot and fix something or get some things like quite literally flown in or shuffle employees around different locations. However, this felt far more dire and personal just because my name was attached to it. And it became very public that it was something that I was doing. And that kind of spotlight mixed with my lack of experience, that's what made it emotionally tough, just to be fully transparent. It was just, I'm so outside of my depths. I mean, I'll figure it out, I hope. But, you know, if you're taking on a bunch of new roles and a bunch of new ideas and it's things that you've never done before, that's by design public inviting and public facing, you're like, oh, I hope this doesn't suck.
Yeah. Damn.
So that weight was a little bit more unique interpersonally than having just to work really hard, if that makes sense.
No, for sure. I mean, I think that makes total sense. And that's sort of what I expected. Do you feel like the drain has been pulled and the pressure has been relieved now that we're like on the other side of it? Or is there the lingering, because that cloud was there for 2 months, you know, that's a good time to be wearing the like heaviness of it, where your body's still like, wait, fuck, like I gotta, and you're like, well, actually I don't gotta, I can just like chill a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still looking for my chill a little bit. I mean, we had friends in town, we had bandmates in town from other states, family in town from other states that were there throughout the weekend. So it didn't really end. So the show from my day started at 9 a.m. that Saturday. We probably got out of the gym after getting it fully set back up, probably about 9 p.m. after all said and done. Then back to the house and then had people over for drinks and they kept going that way. And then we still did stuff the next day. And then it was back into client work, 14-hour days, Monday, Tuesday, long day today. Yeah. So, and then I have my parents in town this weekend. So after all of that, maybe I'll just
lay down under a fucking
exile
rock.
myself in the back of my closet and slowly lock the closet door and be like, I'll come out maybe
just
tomorrow.
Wait. Yeah. Oh man. Well,
but it was worth it. It was very, very cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, do you want to like break down how it went from your side? Like you explained the timing of the day, like from your perspective, I can share, my experience of getting there hours later and what that was like, but I'm, more curious about your take on it and some of how you feel like it went.
I think it went well. We had a lot of good positive feedback from it. The way the day was laid out for me. So this was called the Strength Show with a 5 for the first S for Gym 5. So 5 Trent, if you will. So
the new street drug. I'm on that 5 Trent. That Squillet Trance.
So it was like an inside joke that I had with some clients. But so the 5 Trents show, I wanted to be on site well before the hours of the event. One, just to kind of talk shop, because the night before we set up the entire gym floor completely differently to have the live band already set up. So people coming into the gym on Saturday would walk right in and be like, what the hell is this? Because there's an entire band backline set up right in the middle of the gym where equipment used to be, and all that equipment had to go somewhere. So if someone's just head down autopilot looking for their stuff and they walk right there like, oh, what do I do
DW,
now? Like,
what kind of leg press is this?
100%. So I wanted to be there, and also too, just to kind of represent a brand that I now endorse, with First Form being able to showcase products and supplements with people in the gym in the context that makes the most sense, whether it be pre-workout, post-workout, what have you. So did that, collaborated with a good friend, JJ, at Subliminal Coffee. So he made 10 gallons of cold brew for that event. So I was able to do protein coffees for everyone. And then we also had merch both for the band that my buddy Zach just somehow feverishly made last minute. And it was all like super legit because Zach is the GOAT / MVP. So Zach Charizio, he played bass. He helped organize so much of the periphery of audio, visual, sound person, and a bunch of like just event coordination on top of doing all of the video work day of, as well as setting up Ronnie and I to have a podcast that we could do live in the gym. So yeah, he just pulled so much weight. And amongst all of that, somehow in his free time, just put together merch for the band that we also put together last minute. So the dude is an absolute wonderkind. It's, I always say better than I deserve. He's a fucking good ass dude. So yeah, I was there just talking shop, talking to people like, why is there a full band in the middle of the gym? Kind of say, hey, what you should expect later kind of thing. And then I got a surprise from my sister and my brother-in-law that came all over from Atlanta, which made me super emotional. But yeah, it was cool. It felt, the mingling already felt really good, and a lot of just random interests or people that already knew about it came to Lyft, would leave, grab a protein coffee and like, hey, we'll see you in like 2 hours. Yep. So then you and I got to do our podcast in the middle of the gym, which was crazy. It was just a cool little ambiance. Yeah, it felt like we were on the right path. Like we got to another rung, even if only briefly and temporarily. Yep. It's like, oh, this is where Long and Thick could be going. And I'm sure we'll touch on that a little bit later. But yeah, did that. The show got started, and we started with talking points. It was a gentleman we've had on the podcast, Zach Henderson, a woman we've had on the podcast, Cassandra Grippy, as well as Adam Wright, the gym's owner, and Evan Singleton, who is the current strongest man on earth after winning the Shaw Classic this year, which is a pretty crazy accolade. But having all of them tell their stories and their take on strength training and their various viewpoints, it was important to me because we've talked about the practitioner community in Nashville also not really held together with a lot of strong gravity. So it was important for me that you've made comments. I think the phrase you've used before is, my peanut butter and jelly might not be your peanut butter and jelly. And while I think you and I both have good handles on it, but we're just not going to resonate with everybody. So having a diverse lineup of a lot of backgrounds, experiences, and takes, I thought was really important because at the end result was I want people to be more invigorated about strength training and the directions that you can take it, regardless of whether that comes from my mouth or not. So I think that translated pretty well.
I think it did too. And I was like slithering around just trying to capture as many like cool fucking hipster shots as I could. I am actually curious. Did you look at any of them?
I haven't. I was thinking about that today because I was talking with Adam because he had his photographer friend there and his shots were crazy. But we still have all of Zach's content. We have this gentleman named Brandon who is a actual movie making cinema photographer, like award winning, and even seeing glimpses of what he did is like, that's crazy. And then I had Kat Anderson running around with one of my film cameras. So there's film photos that will be unearthed at some point. And then I was like, wait a minute. I also at one point gave Ronnie my camera. I'm just like, hey, go to town. So I have not looked. I'm excited to, now that you reminded me.
Yeah, I'm curious if I feel like like my Japan pictures, like I caught a fucking sick one out of every like 30. But
that's all that matters.
That's like the nature of shooting anything, but unless you're shooting,
which is also sick on digital, because imagine doing 36 photos that you spent hundreds of dollars to shoot and develop and only getting 2 of them. You're like, all right, well, for you, baby. Sick.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, even though I was running around and, it was harder for me to like very actively listen, but what was really cool is being up on the second story and like looking down and I feel like I have a good read of, people, and this isn't a hard thing to gauge, especially when you're watching people listen to somebody. But like no one was just like head down on the phone. Like everyone was at least like, nodding, looking. I don't think there was so little like distraction, even with people lifting. Like everyone was in it and paying attention, and it felt like okay, there is actual investment here from everybody who was like participating in a really cool way. So I mean, yeah, and all the transitions and everything felt very seamless and smooth, and yeah, I mean. It was definitely a unique experience, and it was fucking awesome to be.
Thank you, man. Well, I mean, thank you also for just coming early to be there and support it, but also, thank you for doing this with me and then having the opportunity to do this together there, and also for the metric fuck ton of help that you offered both at like the booths and just being there, like lending your particular brand of personality and humor, which everybody adores, as well as doing photo stuff. So just thank you for all of that.
Of course. I wish there was more I could have done, but next event you can offload some of that fucking rainy cloud so that we both get soaked.
It was perfect. So
yeah, but it was really, really a fun time. And I feel like it got the ball rolling in a really cool way of like what future things could look like. And, just without being like, oh, we need to, do more and the lights show and Katy Perry on a rope. And like, it has the same
one,
heart.
Not the second one, but the third one.
That's right. And just, have the tradition of, I don't know, recording future episodes in the, as they're about to rip off, like you were touching on, that it felt like we were we had like our own production team, and we were like set up, and Zach taking care of everything was like, all right, talk. Yeah. Like, oh, does this shot look cool? Do you like this angle? Like, yep. Good. Confirmed. All right. Good. Do we sound good? Yep. Everything's perfect. Like it was just, wow. I was like, holy shit. It felt like we were like celebrities,
Yeah. It was very humbling, and it's a testament to, I think, one, because we still look at this as just like some little hobby thing. And we hang out together. We love each other's company. We love sharing that with people. But when you get a glimpse of the higher level of like the extra detail that can go into it, you're like, oh shit, like what if we did that? Yeah, this is very, very cool in like a very boyish kind of way. And furthermore, just a testament of just how much depth fucking Zach has. Because, I mean, he set all of that up, and it was like 4 of him in front of us, and just like constantly moving, and then microphones were in our hands, lights were up, cameras were up. He's like, that looked cool. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. He's like, all right, you guys are good, run it.
Good.
Like,
yeah. Start.
Shit.
I know. Yeah, so absolute wonder of a human being. Just,
yeah, he's a fucking animal.
Yeah, it is astounding. But no, I think the whole event as a whole was just fucking awesome. Like,
thank you, brother.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that it went as well as it did, and I'm relieved that there was as good of a turnout as there was, because I think it's easy to anticipate like, oh, maybe people just like work out and walk past, and it sort of just is like nothing. There's like 3 people sort of listening, and you're like,
yeah,
like that's not what I wanted.
Oh, sure. But that was I planned certain things for the high side of like, okay, what if this does just pop off? But the baseline, the basement expectation was it would be cool to talk to 10 people, maybe,
Yeah.
But I think a neighbor of mine was there kind of like doing like quick little head counts. And he said for the seminars, probably like between 40 and 55 were
That's
there.
what I thought. Yeah.
And then for the actual our set for playing music, he said probably closer to 90 to 100. So
wow,
that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I was in a different fucking dimension while you guys were playing. That was the first sweat I broke that day. I was like, I told Adam's buddy who was taking a lot of the pictures, I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Just like slap me in the back of the head if I'm in the way. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just like trying to be cool and catch like artsy shots of shit and whatever. And he's like, yeah, you're good. Like, I can work around you. I know what I'm doing. I was like, I know you do. I don't. I was like, don't leave it up to me to like the level at which I can fuck up is high. So like, you might be really dope, but I'm also really dope at not being dope. So take that. He was like, cool. Yeah, goodness. Got it. He was like laughing with me. I was like, okay. And then I fucking slithered away. But no, man, it was a good time. Is there ideas already? I mean, like you said, there's already 25 things you have coming up in the next like 10 days. So I'm sure it's hard to even begin to.
Well, let's just say this. We've already started talking about the various timelines and frequencies of how we do this again. We've already had people reach out that could help scale what we're doing. So yeah, it's going to be a thing. It landed just the right way for us internally. And it was cool hearing the feedback from everyone who, even if they didn't know Adam, met him that day.
Oh, sure.
Because he really is just in it for the music and the people. And having that, I've never seen probably such boyish whimsy from someone that was just so fucking pumped that he got what he wanted. Just people working out, listening to some music, and just people getting together. I mean, it was Devin, the guy who played guitar and Heavy Hands with me. He's like, dude, I've never seen just that level of elation, and just, just running around doing that, slapping hands, handshaking, going back and just sitting crisscross in front of a band playing, like, oh my God. Like, it was cool to see. So if I have any hand in being able to recreate that for that man and semi-repeatedly, I will do it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah. I mean, it's really cool. Like, having met Adam, I don't know, maybe like a year ago, somewhere in that like ballpark, but just very casually, like, hey, this is my buddy. Hey, nice to meet you. Cool. I own the place. Like, oh, love this gym. Awesome. Whatever. And then you really just get a cool grasp of some of his character in the 19 years that the gym is going on, the story that he shared about his like intro to strength, and some of the like beautiful simplicity. And then when Evan started to talk about their experience and relationship, and I was just like peeling back some of those layers that no one would ever really know, is just like, I think it really did a good solid punch in that communal, like everything is burning together in a good way, right? Like the fires of like, oh yeah, we are like a crew, like this is, and it felt that way very much so. And I'm sure, I can't imagine how cool of an experience it was for him, especially like being in that place, you know, like having all those things happen, like you're describing. Obviously, I know how happy he was, but like what that really feels like and how you can, you know, stew on that memory of this is my gym and like, look at what's happening and how, like, you know, the culture there, like it just is such a cool, like thing that happened. It was a beautiful thing to be a part of.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think we're all very lucky to have that just amalgamation of things and that just group of people, the neighborhood and community around Gym 5. It's unlike anything I've experienced anywhere else. And it's why it's everyone talks like, you know, how long are you going to stay, or where do you like, does anyone want to stay or move or kind of thing? But like, it's that level of community and people, like, you know, we've on and off camera, we've had our woes with Nashville, but I mean, that is such a trump card that I've lived almost 40 years and never found this. So it's not going away anytime soon for me. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that there's some fire for more things to be in the works.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that. Thankfully, I don't have to like write an album every single time, and I'll have more of a heads up.
Actually, like you're going to play in 3 bands. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! But
I wouldn't put it past you.
It's exciting for the future there. I'm excited for the future of this too, which we alluded to. But you know, some things in the pipeline. Try to up the production value a little bit. Have some more fun with that, and just be. We're coming up on our year of at least conceptualizing this, which is crazy.
I know.
So this came from, for anyone who's followed or hasn't followed along from the very first parts of this episode where we kind of alluded to where this even began. But Ronnie and I were busy motherfuckers, and for a little bit we tried to carve in at least like a Sunday every other week just to catch up, have coffee. How are we doing? What's it like to be a human? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And some of the subjects that we'd land on, we kind of like, I mean, this could actually be of value to other people,
right?
Kind of thing. So that happened in some early December morning. So we're coming up on the year of our first talk of this. We started filming at the turn of the year, so it's in January. So we're about to hit our anniversary. How many episodes are we in now?
Oh, dude,
30 something.
We're in the 30s. Some of the metrics are pretty cool, and like the Podbean side. I mean, we passed that 1,000 download mark. Like, I think looking up other comparison analytics, like pretty early on, considering, which is cool. And it's
very
the
cool.
Other day I saw I forget the guy's name who runs like the podcast, like Diary of a CEO or something along those lines. And it was looking at like a snapshot of a few years, and it was like listenership, and it was like this fucking nothing, like, little like, and then it was like, like it just instantly exploded.
Instantly. That slow burn. Yeah.
Yep. So
that parabolic rise.
That's right. So we've, continually carved the time to make sure that we can keep up with, supporting the people around us and those who are listening and are invested in helping this grow and all of that stuff. That being said, for anybody who does continually listen, like the shares, the feedback, reach out to us if there's things you wish that we would cover. I feel like those have been helpful pillars or cogs for us to like look at and go, oh yeah, and
For sure.
things that we want us to revisit. Like again, the whole heart and soul of it, which we really reminisced about in the episode we did during the strength show, was helping the community, like helping people. It's not a rich scheme. It's not like the whole heart and soul is like, we're talking about the things that we're helping people with in our work lives during the week and connecting about them from, you know, provider to provider. Like here's the insight behind that. And so just a loving reminder for people to share that stuff with us, because, you know, we want to be that resource and continue to be that resource. So.
Yeah, we want to help clarify things in a messy space as the internet.
Yep. Hell yeah.
So
yeah, man. Any other snippets, tidbits, things that
we'll touch on the holidays here in a little bit when it's a little more time appropriate. But no, I think this is good for us to do this now and also kind of revitalize like the check-in. And we both have years that are winding down a little bit, so we can reconnect on hopefully on a personal level. I don't feel like, despite us being in each other's presence on Saturday, at least I wasn't fully present as I would like to have been.
Dude,
so I was shell shocked.
You were
the whole time.
You were in a different dimension, which I
For
totally
sure.
like. I don't know how you wouldn't be. So
yeah, it was transcendent in a good and bad ways. But no, I am excited to be more present with you and, you know, develop the next year for what this will look like. And sound like, and the things that we'll touch on, how this will be a little bit more full featured and fleshed out. So
yeah,
that's me not saying anything specific, but it's just, I'm excited for the process because this has been another thing. I've always used the bingo analogy. It was like, oh, this was not on my bingo card, but
it's a good one.
This year has been such an unexpectedly amazing year for everything that's got put on motion. And it's just a testament to anyone out there. If you have an idle interest in fucking anything, just do it. Just don't even think about it. Make the awkward first steps. I mean, Ronnie will corroborate that my MO is to over plan and over prepare and do all that stuff. And I told him straight away, I was like, listen, if we're going to do this, we're doing it like now, because I will fucking railroad and torpedo this shit with my own mind if given the opportunity. So we just have to pull the trigger, and I need you to keep me accountable to that. So thankfully, Ronnie and some other very strategic people in my life, they have allowed me to keep moving forward, even if it felt cumbersome, and allow crazy opportunities that I could not even imagine 8 months ago. So this has been really sick. And this podcast, starting it with you, was a really huge, like the biggest domino to tip that started all of those chain reactions. So I'm always going to be thankful for that and excited to keep going and see what we can do with it.
100%, man. I think I feel exactly the same. Like it's been a beautiful ride, and all the things that it's only the beginning, right? And so we're definitely excited to share
not to detour too hard, but I also feel a little remiss and a bit selfish because I felt like I was talking about a lot of my year. But what do you have coming on toward the end of your year into the new year for you? What are you excited about?
Man, I'm excited for things to like settle down a bit and like gather the fucking nuts. This is a crazy thought, but this is my brain. You know that bears like eat fucking pine cones and needles and like shit to not shit while they hibernate?
I did not know that
for like months, like they like clog their ass. Yeah.
Which then, in dumb idiot boy brain, this is like, when that dam breaks, like, dear God.
I don't know. I might research that, but for whatever reason, the thought of winter, climb into my cave, not recluse, but in the sense of like fucking get into my little egg and evolve a little bit. Like, I think that's the things I'm excited about is, casting some more vision and just like establishing some of the, futurescape stuff, but no big plans besides not having big plans and making big
Are
plans.
you staying in town for Christmas?
Yeah, I'll be here for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So
Dope.
yeah.
Nice. Well,
Hell yeah,
sick,
boy.
man. Well, I fucking love the shit out of you, and I'm really glad that we get to do this all the time.
Me too. I agree. Love you too. And we will catch you fuckers next time on The Long and Thick.
On the flip side, baby. Have a good one.
That's right. Until then, ciao, bitches.
Peace.